Many gardeners believe that the only way to improve poor soil is by buying earthworms, adding expensive biological products, or constantly investing money into artificial solutions. Every year, millions of people spend $50 or more trying to fix their soil by introducing worms, believing that more animals automatically means healthier land. But what if this idea is completely unnecessary? What if the secret to regenerating weak soil does not depend on buying life, but on creating the environment where life can return naturally? Today, I want you to stop thinking about soil as something you must force to become productive. Soil is not a machine that works only when you add components. Soil is a living ecosystem that already contains the potential for fertility. The problem in most gardens is not the absence of earthworms alone. The real problem is that the biological balance inside the soil has been destroyed over time through overuse, chemical fertilizers, compacted ground, and the removal of natural organic cycles. Let's start with something very important. Earthworms are not the creators of soil health. They are only indicators of soil health. This is a mistake many gardeners make. They believe that if they buy earthworms and release them into the ground, the soil will automatically become fertile again. But earthworms cannot survive in poor soil conditions. If the environment is not suitable, they will simply disappear or die. This is why spending money on worms without fixing the soil structure is usually pointless. Healthy soil works like a living city. In a living city, there must be energy flow, food sources, protection, and continuous recycling of resources. The same principle applies to soil biology. Microorganisms, fungi, bacteria, and small organisms all work together to break down organic matter and transform it into nutrients that plants can absorb. When this system is destroyed, soil becomes weak, compacted, and lifeless. Now, I want you to focus on the real secret behind soil regeneration. Stop trying to add life to your soil from the outside. Instead, feed the life that should already exist inside the soil. This is the fundamental difference between modern artificial gardening thinking and natural biological agriculture. The first step is organic material, but not just any organic material. You must use slowly decomposing plant matter such as fallen leaves, small branches, or natural plant residues. When this material decomposes gradually, it becomes food for microorganisms. These microorganisms multiply and create the foundation for soil fertility. Many people make a serious mistake here. They believe that fertilizer alone can solve soil problems. But fertilizers only provide temporary nutrient spikes. They do not rebuild soil structure or biological stability. When you feed plants directly with chemical nutrients, you are feeding the plant but starving the soil ecosystem. Over time, this weakens microbial populations and reduces natural fertility. Think of soil as a digestive system. Plants do not directly eat fertilizer. Plants absorb nutrients that have been processed by microorganisms. If the microorganisms are gone, the soil loses its natural nutrient processing ability. This is why some gardens receive fertilizer again and again, but still produce weak plants. Another extremely powerful method to regenerate poor soil is protecting moisture balance. Soil life needs stable humidity levels. If the soil becomes too dry, microorganisms enter a dormant state. If the soil is constantly flooded or compacted by heavy watering, oxygen exchange is reduced and beneficial organisms die. Instead of forcing soil improvement with external animals, create a habitat that naturally attracts them. Earthworms appear when there is food, moisture, and organic matter. They do not appear because you bought them. This is the truth. Many gardening companies do not want to explain clearly. Now let's talk about soil structure. Compacted soil is one of the biggest enemies of biological regeneration. When soil particles are pressed too tightly together, air circulation is blocked. Without air circulation, aerobic microorganisms cannot survive. You can improve soil structure without spending money by gently loosening the ground surface and adding organic mulch layers. Mulching is one of the oldest and most powerful natural gardening techniques. A layer of natural mulch protects soil temperature, reduces evaporation, and slowly feeds the biological system as it decomposes. Another important concept is diversity. Monoculture planting damages soil biology because it reduces root interaction networks. Different plants release different types of root exudates that feed different microbial species. When you grow a variety of compatible plants, you'll create a more resilient underground ecosystem. You do not need to chase expensive biological products to achieve this. Nature has been regenerating soil for millions of years without human intervention. Forest soils are one of the best examples of natural fertility systems. Nobody buys earthworms for forests, but forests maintain enormous biological activity underground. Why? Because fallen leaves, branches, and natural decomposition continuously feed the soil. If your soil is weak, start by observing it rather than immediately trying to fix it. Does water penetrate the ground slowly? Is the soil hard and compacted? Does it lack organic surface cover? These are signs that the biological cycle is broken. Remember this principle. Soil regeneration is a process, not a product. Many gardeners want instant results. They want soil to become fertile in a few days. But biological systems do not work like machines. They require time to rebuild microbial populations, stabilize nutrient cycles, and restore structural complexity. If you are serious about regenerating your soil, stop thinking about what you can buy and start thinking about what you can grow or recycle naturally. One simple but powerful practice is returning plant residues to the soil after harvest. When you remove all organic material from your garden, you are stealing food from the soil ecosystem. Nature is designed as a closed-loop system where nothing is wasted. Some people fear that leaving organic matter on the soil will attract pests. But in healthy soil ecosystems, predator-prey balance naturally controls pest populations. When biological diversity increases, pest outbreaks usually decrease. Another hidden secret is fungal networks. Many plants depend on symbiotic relationships with fungi that extend their root absorption capacity. These networks are extremely important for nutrient transport and soil resilience. You do not need to purchase laboratory products to stimulate this system. Natural organic mulching and plant diversity are usually enough to encourage fungal activity over time. Now let me be very honest with you. If you are spending $50 buying earthworms, you are probably solving the wrong problem. The soil is not weak because it lacks worms. The soil is weak because the biological environment that allows worms to survive is missing. If you fix the environment, life will return naturally. Start by adding organic material slowly, protecting moisture, avoiding excessive chemical input, and allowing decomposition cycles to operate. Do not rush the process. Soil regeneration is a long-term investment in the health of your garden. Nature does not rebuild ecosystems overnight, and neither should you expect your soil to transform instantly. If you follow this system, you will notice that over time your soil becomes softer, darker, and more alive. Water absorption improves. Root growth becomes stronger. Plant resistance to stress increases. And the most important part is this. You will not need to spend money buying earthworms or unnecessary biological supplements. The soil can regenerate itself when you stop trying to control it with artificial solutions. Your garden is not fighting against nature. Your garden is part of nature. If you want strong harvests, focus on building a living soil ecosystem rather than purchasing organisms or products that promise instant miracles. Remember this final message. You don't need to buy earthworms if you rebuild the biological environment of your soil. Let the soil breathe. Let organic life return naturally, and allow the underground world to restore itself through time, balance, and natural cycles. Because the strongest soil is not the soil you buy. The strongest soil is the soil that learns to heal itself.